So under this chapter, this is the second part of the chapter. So under this first heading is Mughal relation with other rulers. So you will notice that the Mughal ruler campaigned constantly against ruler who refused to accept their authority. But as the Mughal became powerful, so when in the starting when Mughal were not much strong, so whenever they ordered or they sent any messenger or ambassador to the other king to accept their authority, so the other king were not ready to accept the authority of Mughal. Means they were not ready, the Mughal, that they are superior or they are under the Mughal. Why? Because when they will accept them authority, when they will accept the authority of Mughal, they have to pay them monthly some amount, maybe some horse, some animal and some other gift. And they cannot do anything freely without asking the Mughal. So many of the king refused in the starting. But when Mughal became more powerful, so many of the rulers accepted Mughal authority voluntarily, automatically, without sending any ambassador by the Mughals. They accepted directly sovereignty, directly that authority of the Mughals. The Rajput are good example of this, and from them good example is Rajput. Many of the Rajput married their daughter to the Mughal, into Mughal families, and received high position, to get high position. But many of them, but some of them resisted also, opposed also. So the king, those who opposed, the dynasty, those who opposed the Mughal to accept them as their authority, they were Sisodiya Rajput of Mewar. They refused and they did not accept Mughal authority for a long time. And once Sisodiya Rajput were defeated, even they were honorably treated by the Akbar. Once Akbar sent the army to defeat the Sisodiya Rajput, and Sisodiya Rajput were defeated, and even after this, Mughal Emperor Akbar treated that Sisodiya Rajput very respectfully, honorably, and given their land, their Watan, back as a Watan Jagir. In this area, they allotted them as Watan Jagir. The careful balance between defeating but not humiliating their opponents enabled the Mughal to extend their influence over many kingdoms. And in this way, that the king those who are against them, when Mughal defeated them, they did not insult it, but in the place of this, they respect them, they treat them honorably, and due to this, they own the heart of the enemies. And in this way, Mughal territory, Mughal kingdom extended. In the last, we can see that when Shivaji, he became ruler. Shivaji became ruler in the last of his life in Maharashtra. So once he came to accept the authority of Mughal Empire, Aurangzeb, and for this he came to Agra, but he was insulted by Aurangzeb and he flew away from their side. So in this way, Aurangzeb was unable to hold the Maharashtra, some portion of the Maharashtra, which was under the Shivaji. Why? Because if suppose this area was under the Shivaji, and if he will consider Aurangzeb, that Aurangzeb is his head, he is working under Aurangzeb, so this area will also become under the Aurangzeb. Now next heading is Mansabdar and Jagirdar. As the empire extended to compass different region of the Mughal, when Mughal empire extended to all the location to cover so long area, Mughal recruited, Mughal given job, diverse body, means different people means not only from the Turkish, those who were main and central power during that time, but not only to the Turkish, but they gave job to the Iranian, Indian Muslim, Afghan, Rajputs, Maratha, and the other group, Indian group also, who joined Mughal services were enrolled at Mansabdar. And these all the people were given job under the Mughals as a Mansabdar. Now what were the Mansabdar? The term Mansabdar referred to an individual who holds a Mansab, who is on any rank. Hold means hold any rank. It was grade system used by the Mughal. And Mansabdar was a grade system by the Mughal to fix rank, to fix the salary, and to fix the military responsibility. Rank and salary were determined by the number, numerically value called Zat. Number, rank and salary were fixed by a numerical value called Zat. And what was Zat? The Zat were noble with a Zat of 5,000 were ranked higher than those of 1,000. In Akbar's reign, there were 29 Mansabdar with a rank of 5,000 Zat. By Aurangzeb's time, it increased up to 79. So Zat means a post. Zat is a post. So whatever Zat number is given with them, 5,000 Zat, so that say this much amount of the army people, means 5,000 army people will be under the Mansabdar of 5,000. If the Mansabdar is under 1,000, if the Mansabdar is having Zat rank of 1,000, so under him 1,000 army will be there, 1,000 Sipais will be there. Thus, higher the Zat, the salary will be more. More prestigious was noble's position in court, and the larger his salary. Means whatever Zat is, if a person is having higher Zat, so his salary will be also higher. If a Mansabdar is having Zat 1,000 and second is having Zat 2,000, who will get more salary? Obviously, the Mansabdar of 2,000. The Mansabdar's military responsibility were to maintain a specified number of Sawar. It was his responsibility of Mansabdar what? To maintain the army. To maintain the army, which type of army? Two type of army were there, Sawar army and cavalryman army, Paidal army. Mansabdar brought this cavalryman, Mansabdar brought the cavalryman for review to show, and when all the cavalrymen came to the king, they all were registered, their name were registered, their horses were branded, horses of the cavalrymen, their horses were branded. Cavalryman means that Paidal, that horse, this line, so registered, and their horses were branded, and after that, why these all things were done? To get money as a salary, to get their salary. When these all things will be registered, then they will get salary. Mansabdar received their salary as revenue assigned called Jagir. And Mansabdar were not getting salary. They were getting their salary from Jagirdar. And Jagir were allotted by the king. Now Jagir, which were somewhat like Ikta. Jagir and Ikta, these both were little same. But unlike Mukti. But what different? That Mukti, in Mukti were different little from the Mansabdar. How? Why? Because most Mansabdar did not actually reside. They did not live in that area and they did not govern their Jagir. They did not administrate their Jagir. But when you will go to Jagirdar reside in those land, and they also govern their Jagir. They also govern their Iktas. They only had right to revenue of the assigned. Means Mansabdar had only right to collect the taxes which was collected by their servant. Mansabdar themselves saw on some part of the country, and after that Mansabdar were normally doing some other thing. In Akbar's reign, these Jagir were carefully assessed. The responsibility of the land portion were given to the Mansabdar for what? To collect taxes. So these were assessed, these were evaluated, guessed very properly, so that the revenue were roughly equal to the salary. So this was the advantage of this, that the amount which was collected, the tax from that Jagir, that were equal to the salary of Mansabdar and the army under them. Suppose one person is given this much Jagir, he is collecting 1 lakh rupees from this area, but his salary in the army under him, the salary of the army under him and his salary, this both is 2 lakh rupees, and he collected 1 lakh rupees, so there will be loss. So it was good during the time of Akbar. By Aurangzeb's reign, this was no longer the case, and actual revenue collected was often less than the granted sum. Whatever their sum was there, they were unable to collect the tax equal to them. Most often, they were able to collect less amount than their salary. There was also a huge increase in the number of Mansabdar, and Mansabdar were also increased. Like during the Akbar, the Mansabdar were 29, and during the Aurangzeb, the Mansabdar were 79. So much salary is required, but even they are unable to collect the taxes like Akbar time. So there was failure little during the time of Aurangzeb. These and the other factor increase a shortage in the number of Jagir. As a result, many Jagirdar tried to extract as much revenue as possible. So that's why Jagirdar tried to take as much revenue as possible while they had a Jagir. And that's why that Mansabdar started to collect much money even they have their Jagir. And Aurangzeb was unable to control this development in the last of his time. When he became very old, he was unable to control this all the thing. And due to this, problem occurred only for the peasants, only for the farmers.